Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Charific coming at you with another Pokemon movie analysis. And once again, another analysis must have Weeb Rabbit, and here he is.
Hi, I'm here too. I was forced into this and might as well see it through now.
Yeah.
10 movies in.
Yep, 10 movies in, we got like 15 more to go, and any others
Oh,
that they
Lord.
add. But this time we're going to be talking about the Rise of Darkrai. And as always, just going to preface this by saying there will not be any clips of the movie because, once again, big movie companies hate it when small YouTubers take away their views and then they give them copyright strikes. So, let's give a pretty quick synopsis. I mean, there's not much, to be honest. The plot's pretty straightforward without too many twists and turns. But Ash and his friends, they're once again in a new movie town, and they meet a
Well,
woman.
first of all, hold on. Before that, we
Yes,
are we are a part of a next another region now. That's something
yes.
we want to cover real quick. We are now in generation 4, so we are in a different region. We're in the region of Sinnoh now.
Mm-hmm.
And so no longer are we traveling with May and Max. We're now traveling with Brock, who's just a mainstay basically,
Mm-hmm.
and Dawn.
Yes.
Just want
So,
to throw that out there. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there. We are in a new region. We do
mm-hmm.
have a new friend. And the reason that the movie starts is because Dawn actually wants to compete in a Pokemon contest in this town that they run into.
Yes. So that's how the movie starts. And then they meet someone by the name of Alicia. She's in the hot air balloon. She gives them a ride to town.
She's good with
And
her mouth.
uh
She's good with her mouth.
yeah,
She,
I
she
think
plays a leaf, and it sounds like it sounds like music. It's incredible.
I mean, yes,
She has a very
she's
talented mouth.
yes, she does. She can do many things with her lips. And there's this other guy, Tonio. He's tracking spatial anomalies just on his computer. Like he can just track space anomalies apparently, and he notices that something is out of whack. And we're showing clips of Dialga and Palkia fighting. They're just fighting. The movie starts with fighting, and we don't know why they're fighting yet. And and then in comes Darkrai, and people think that Darkrai is a nuisance because things get wonky whenever he shows up. And then what's his name? Baron? I forgot.
And it gives people nightmares. It has that
Yes.
ability. So, of course, if you hear there's a Pokemon that's hidden in shadow, can give
Hmm.
people nightmares, and it has kind of a gothic appearance to it, what do you think? You probably think, oh, this is like a bad guy Pokemon, right?
Yes. Yes. So, they just assume that Darkrai is bad and that, he's causing all of these troubles. And so they basically organize like a witch hunt for Darkrai. Like that's what it is. It basically is just a witch hunt. And they're out to stop Darkrai from, causing what they think are the issues in the town. And lo and behold, in the background, Dialga and Palkia are sitting here fighting, and the town gets worse. And it gets to the point to
Terrific.
where
Why are they fighting?
uh, because time and space are enemies of each other. So whenever they get into contact, they have to fight to the death.
That doesn't sound very well explained.
But shut up because the plot needs them to fight.
That's
Like,
literally that's basically it. Seriously, guys. Like it's never explained. It's just like it's foretold if these two Pokemon meet, like they'll destroy the world because they'll fight each other. It's like why? Who knows? It just happens.
yeah, just shut up and accept it. Like this is what you're being told. So they're fighting. Get used to it. So they're fighting. The town is getting worse, and it gets to the point to where Palkia is injured, and because Palkia is injured, I guess like it fled to their town for some reason, and it wants to hide from Darkrai. So it basically pulls the town into like a pocket dimension, but then Darkrai finds them anyway, and then it's found out that no, not Darkrai, Dialga finds them anyway, and then they start fighting just in the pocket dimension in the town, and then people find out like, oh dang, Darkrai was trying to stop us. I mean, was trying to save us because only Darkrai could see what was happening in the alternate dimension, which that's also not explained. I guess we're just meant to assume that he can sense like the Pokemon in the different
That's just his
dimensions.
powers, I guess. It's
Yeah,
just his
yeah,
powers for some reason.
he can just sense, you know, different dimensions, and Darkrai's trying
At
to
this
stop
point,
them.
yeah,
What's
at
up?
this point things get wonky because these two Pokemon are messing with space and time. They
Mm-hmm.
also and there's space time and there's also nightmares going on because of
Mm-hmm.
Darkrai. So it starts messing with everything where basically, Ash wants to run in a direction to get out of town and it basically just loops around. He's in the same spot because they're in a pocket dimension.
Yes.
Pokemon that were asleep and were having nightmares, like you can see them floating around as ghosts basically
Mm-hmm.
because somehow there's like a hallucination thing going on. And then a guy that had been like a dick earlier, he was like this Baron. Um, Basically, somehow because his Pokemon was having a nightmare about him, I think. Somehow
Yeah.
he takes on the appearance of his Pokemon, and so he's just
Yes.
a talking Pokemon. Like just really weird, wonky stuff that doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
I just hate that doesn't really make sense. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it's just like, oh, just go with it. They're messing with
Mm-hmm.
space and time and whatever. Just go with it, even if it makes no sense. So
Mm.
there you go. Things are wonky.
And and we get to the point of the climax where, oh, if they collide one more time, like the town would be done for. And so they have to find like they have these towers too, the time tower and the space tower, and connecting them is like this giant mechanical organ type of thing where you can put basically records and the records will play a song out. And so they find this ancient song that's supposed to soothe like apparently gods, like this ancient song that can soothe Pokemon gods. They find it, and now their job is to take it to the towers to play it to calm them the heck down. And
And of
along the way,
course, yeah, of course, things are easier said than done because the
hmm
towers are getting destroyed and everything's in shambles. So Ash and Dawn make their way to the top, fighting and using their Pokemon powers and whatnot, and climbing the tower because it's really, really tall. They
yes,
struggle to get up there because, of course,
yes, and then they finally get to the mechanical organ. They put the record in, and then they turn it on, and then lo and behold, there's no power. But luckily the two main protagonists have electric types that can power the organ. And they do just that, and then the song plays. Oh, and I guess I forgot to mention, Darkrai basically sacrifices himself to save Alicia because we didn't mention it, but in the past, apparently Alicia's grandmother was just like homies with Darkrai, and they just chilled together. And then Darkrai saved her as a little girl, and so they just have this connection. So Darkrai sacrificed himself for her, and he seemingly dies. And and then fast forwarding, they play the song. Dialga and Palkia listen to it and just I don't mellow out, and then they just return the town.
yeah, literally Dawn just goes like, put the town back, you two, and they go like, okay, let's put the town back and peace out.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
that's
literally,
what happens. Like apparently they no longer want to fight to the death, and then the movie ends. But wait, Darkrai's not dead because the camera pans to him as the credits roll.
oh,
So
and one last thing. During the credits montage, we see that Dawn loses her contest because as we were explaining, because the movies are basically non-canon, of course
hmm
we can't have her win a contest because how would they explain it? So no, she loses the contest.
yes,
So the whole reason they even came to this town was for nothing.
yes. Like even though they have memories from the movies, which like as we know because later on in Sinnoh, Ash fights a Latios and he's not surprised by it, which shows that he remembers meeting Latios in the previous movie. So the movies are canon, but they're not. So because what if you didn't watch the movie? Then we can't include stuff. So there we go. That's basically it. We've basically been ripping on it, so we might as well just continue that trend. You want to start or continue? I guess I should
Okay,
say.
so changing gears, what do I like about the movie? The town that they visit in this one is gorgeous. I really like
Mm-hmm.
the town. I think it. I actually read if you go to Wikipedia, it says like, oh, it's based on Barcelona and stuff in Spain. And yeah, definitely like the little town itself is really nice looking. The two towers that they the space tower and the time tower, or whatever, they're really cool. Like that's a really cool location. And I
Mm-hmm.
do kind of like that they have like that music thing that plays.
Yes.
All of that's like really cool lore. I like that. Once again, very nice looking movie when it comes to animation and looks and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. because like we said, from here forward, I feel like they're all like HD and stuff. They look good.
Yeah.
I do like what else? I like Darkrai as a Pokemon. I think its powers are pretty cool. You know, it's like a shadow Pokemon.
Hmm.
It can cause nightmares, that sort of thing. I think that's really cool. However, I think that's really all I like. I basically just like the setting, and I like some of like the lore.
Hmm.
But besides that, I don't really like anything else because
Yeah.
like the plot's just really simple and it's really silly. It's just like, oh, they're gonna fight because it's foretold they'll fight, and they do, and that's it. And then I don't really like that things just get so wonky. Where like,
Hmm.
oh, they're messing with space and time and nightmares, and you know, there's hallucinations of Pokemon running around, and the town's like in a pocket dimension, and like all these weird things. That's just like you just have to go with it because they tell you stuff is weird. That's it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then yeah, I'm just trying to think of other stuff. Like a lot of stuff just kind of just happens. The pacing's just kind of eh. There's not really anything too exciting. Like you
Hmm.
have these two giant Pokemon battling out, but it just feels like, oh, they're battling again over there. Like who cares? You know, stakes don't feel as high as they should until maybe at the end
Hmm.
when they're like, oh, if they clash one more time, they'll output energy that'll destroy the town. You know, but
Yeah.
besides that, it doesn't feel very exciting at all. So, eh.
Yeah. And I guess moving on to my experience with it, like I can agree with you. The setting is fantastic. Visuals are also equally fantastic. I don't know, man. I can't think of any like characters that just stood out to me that were like, wow, that was a really good character. They added so much to the movie.
Well,
Um,
Alicia,
I mean,
because
yeah,
she's good with her mouth.
uh, yeah, that's true. Like a woman
No,
that's
she.
good with her mouth is always a great addition to a
I mean,
movie.
she cute. I like her appearance. I like her
Hmm.
weird. She looks like a Pokemon. Honestly, the way her hair's modeled, I swear there's like a Pokemon that has like weird. She looks. I know why I like her because she looks like a Baneri. Her hair looks like the little ears of a Baneri.
You know what? You might be right.
That's probably like the only reason I like her because she kind of looks like a Baneri as a human. Honestly, her hair has like little fluffs,
Yeah.
and she's just cool in general. Where you know, like I joke about the thing with her mouth, but no, I just think it's cool how like she's really talented with like the music and all that, and
Hmm.
I like how she has ties to the Darkrai. You know, I think she's an
Yeah.
interesting character.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's like the only character that's like interesting at all.
Hmm.
Honestly,
I mean, I will say, I guess moving on to the characters, I do like how Dawn, like for the climax, she was equally present with Ash, where I feel like for the Hoenn movies, it was really just Ash, and I mean, maybe in the Jirachi movie you can say that Max played a bigger role, but other than that, like it was kind of mainly Ash who was affecting, like the movie. But in this one, I feel like Dawn played a pretty good role. Like she was with Ash every step of the way, and she, helped him figure out like how to play the music, and her Pokemon actually helped start it. So I thought that was pretty cool that we
true, true,
didn't
true.
see. Unfortunately, Brock takes the back seat. Like Brock, I don't know, man. Brock just never gets his moment to shine in these movies, unfortunately. Um,
Well, since
and
Brock is weird after the original series, if you want to call it that. You know,
hmm.
when Ash and Misty and Brock part ways,
Hmm.
like it was weird because you could tell Ash should have moved on because he always gets new companions in terms of like Max and May and Dawn and some of those people,
Hmm.
but Brock is still there for some reason, and it feels like he really shouldn't be. It feels like they were just too lazy to like come up with another character that could like hang out. You know?
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Um, And I guess you mentioned this earlier, but the pacing really isn't all that good. Like, I don't even mind the silliness, like to an extent. Like, I get it. Like, I don't mind it. Space is affected, so wonky things are happening with the space. It's just more so the pacing for me that's kind of just like blah, because I can't put my finger on it because stuff happens, but stuff really doesn't start happening until like the last 30 minutes. And like the whole first hour of the movie is really just, I guess, set up for the last 30 minutes. And I don't know how I feel about that. Really, like the pacing was definitely not the best. And
Yeah.
and I guess one funny moment is just Alicia when like Dialga and Palkia are revealed, and she's just like, and when Tonio was like, "Oh yeah, they can destroy the town," and then she's like, "Hey, stop it. And then they just keep fighting anyway. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
She's
that's
like,
pretty
hey,
funny.
stop fighting right now. And they're just like, whatever. And
Yeah,
they
let's
just
keep
keep doing
going.
it. Yeah. Like this woman is
Um,
trying to stop gods from fighting.
I like Team Rocket in this one. They don't come
Hmm.
out for too much, but I thought that was funny that they're just reporters that
Hmm.
they're pretend to be reporters who are like, oh yeah, we're here for like the news story, and that's why they keep hanging out and they show up everywhere because supposedly they're gonna report on what's
Hmm.
happening. So that's how they play a part. They're
Yeah.
just hanging around because suppose they're gonna report.
Mhm.
And Meowth just has like a wig with like curly hair and has a little hat and stuff. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I guess other than that, that's really all that I have to say. I mean, I remember at the end of the last analysis, I mentioned how I love this movie as a kid, so it'll be interesting to see how well it holds up. And unfortunately, it doesn't hold up to my nostalgia. Like, the pacing is really what kills it for me.
Dang.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. What about you, man? I know you didn't watch it like as a kid, but what are how would you rate this movie?
And it's just really mediocre. Mediocre, maybe towards like bad is where I would put it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll put
Yes.
that's where I'll put on the scale. I would put like on mediocre, maybe leaning towards like not good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, hopefully the next movie will, be a little bit better because this was not a good start for this generation of movies. So speaking of the next movie, tell the people what the next one is.
So the next one, these next ones actually kind of connect. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like all the ones in this gen actually connect because it's a lot of the same, a lot of the same Pokemon that mess with space and time and darkness and all that whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So the next movie that we're going to cover is it Giratina? Is that how you say it?
Yes, Giratina.
Yeah, Giratina and the Sky Warrior. And for anyone who's
Yes.
played Gen 4, you know that Giratina and Darkrai and Palkia and Arceus, all of those Pokemon are like big figures, basically deities in
Mm-hmm.
that generation. And so yeah, we're moving on to looking at another basically deity out of that pantheon. So we'll see how that
Yes.
goes.
Heck yeah, man. Because Gen 4 movies is so lore based, which is why I love it. Like Gen 4 was just so focused on lore, and I freaking love it. But I guess with that, people, we're gonna wrap up this analysis. So you guys know the drill by now. Check out Weeb Rabbit. He's making some pretty cool stuff over on his channel. If you don't like it, then I'm gonna break your kneecaps. So,
Nice.
so I will see you in the next Pokemon movie analysis. Bye.
Later.